at a nonprofit, and he was telling me how much he was making, and was like, dude, I have $24,000 in debt. Just I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to get out of debt. Goes through this program. He graduates in 16 weeks. He now works here locally for the electric company. He made
Ruslan.
into that, guys. My name is Ruslan, and this channel exists to encourage you to mastermind your business the master's way. May not be subscribed yet, so if you aren't, please hit that subscribe button, as we are on the verge of cracking 10,000 subscribers, and I would love to celebrate that with you. All right, now let's get into the video. I was just hanging out with somebody from my son's school, and we were having a conversation, and this gentleman was a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
And it was hard. It was hard. And a program opened up where he was able to go and do a 16-week program, get certified in being an electrical worker on the grid.
That's tight.
Did a 16, didn't know how he was going to do it, didn't know who was going to watch the kids, got to open up a door. I think his mom ended up being able to watch his kids.
When we say it was hard, you're saying financially? Because he was a
Financially, his
stay-at-home dad.
wife was making $80K a year. He was a stay-at-home dad that didn't have childcare. They couldn't afford childcare. He goes through this program. He graduates in 16 weeks. He now works here locally for the electric company. He made $220,000 last year. $220,000.
That's phenomenal.
His wife stays home. They own a home. He doesn't have a college degree. He
Getting
went to a
about-
16-week program. All I'm saying is this notion that like the only way to become wealthy is if you go and become a doctor or a lawyer, get some degree, or if you go start a business and be a YouTuber or entertainer. It's just not true. And so maybe we need to start bringing on people to share their testimony of just like, yo, there's more opportunity out here than ever before. I was talking to a young man after FPU, and we were talking. He's working at Chick-fil-A, and he's working at a nonprofit, and he was telling me how much he was making, and was like, dude, I have $24,000 in debt. Just I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to get out of debt. And I was like, well, why do you think you could only make 30 grand a year?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, because that's all I know how to do. I know how to do a Chick-fil-A, and I work at this nonprofit, and I help
Crazy.
out. And I said, what is the difference between someone that makes 30 grand a year and works 60 grand a year? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, think it. Like, workshop this with me. And the more we workshopped it, he came to the conclusion that it was a lack of skills and a lack of any type of certification. So I said, okay, well, you can go and be certified nurse's assistant. That's a 16-week program. Instantly, I got a buddy that does that 2 days a week, makes $5 grand a month, $5 grand a month,
Nice.
$60K a year, being a CNA because he does 2 doubles. So he works 2 days on, hard days. He has the rest of his week to build his business and do the other things he wants to do. So I think so much of this is people start with the presupposition that your situation is static, your skill set is static, what you're capable of earning is static, your trajectory in life is static, and it just is what it is. You got these cards, and it just sucks for you. And it's like, hey, some of you guys may have picked the wrong major in college. Some of you guys picked a degree in theater, and you are not Brad Pitt. You don't got the chops. You might have to pivot. You might have to do something else. Hey, also need to put away at least 10% to retirement because there are no pensions anymore. They're also not building because of government regulations. BlackRock wants us all to rent. It's part of the devil's end goal. So, this idea of like BlackRock owning everything is also not true.
Yeah.
I think they bought up like maybe 3% or 4%. Google it. It wasn't nowhere near crazy numbers. The issue at housing right now is very simple. High cost of living in many places because there's not enough buildings being built. That's foundational. Supply and demand. There's more demand than there is supply. What affects that is low interest rates. We cut the interest rates so low. Now, most people have a mortgage rate under 5%. They're not going to leave that mortgage rate. So you got low interest rates, you got low supply, you got high demand. That's what drives prices up. It's basic economics.
BlackRock owns approximately 0.03% of single-family homes.
It was way lower. So this idea of like BlackRock.
They own more apartment complexes.
Okay, what percentage of apartment complexes do they own? Because 0.3% is nothing.
Oh no, definitely not. But it says BlackRock is not buying individual houses in the U.S.
Yeah. So the more you cut interest rates, the harder it is for people to sell their homes, because if you got a 1%, 2% interest rate, why would you sell your house? It doesn't make any sense. You could just keep pulling it out, right? So that's definitely affecting things. I don't think they're even buying land like that. Google if BlackRock's buying land. I think this is a conspiracy theory to make the institution the bad guy and create another excuse on why the little guy can't get ahead. And it's actually a right-wing talking point. This isn't even a left-wing stuff. This is right-wing stuff. They keep saying this stuff, and I don't see anything to suggest that they're buying up all of the real estate in the world and whatever else that they're talking about.
It's too bird's eye view.
What does that mean?
Like a dude making $40,000 a year
Mm-hmm.
and making TikToks. I'm not saying that guy, but like consuming TikToks on like why you'll never be middle class ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be concerned about BlackRock. Like the moves that BlackRock makes, or some evil billionaire that's meddling behind the scenes, is like not trickling down to you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's not affecting your decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say they are doing something crazy, like Steelman, the physician. Let's say they're doing something absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Who's it going to be affecting? It's going to be affecting the people that are trying to grow businesses above $1 million, trying to compete with corporate America. It's not changing someone's ability to earn from 40,000 to 100,000. Like they're not going for that person. It's the same reason you can kind of commit tax fraud under 100K.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Whoa,
kidding. I'm just
what
kidding.
are we doing right now?
But the IRS don't really be coming for you like that.
Render on to Caesar. What is Caesar?
I pay my taxes. You know this.
You didn't.
No. I claim my taxes. I claim all
claim
my
your taxes.
taxes.
You claim your taxes.
I have.
You want to share a little bit about your stripes, the way you took it on the chin over the years? Zach, listen, Zach was an anomaly. Can I share?
Yeah, go
Zach
ahead.
was Zach at 18, 19, 20 years old was crushing it.
But I didn't know anything.
Making
It's all by
like
accident.
70, 80K a year.
No, not 80.
Okay, 70.
No, 65.
65 is a 19-year-old.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And he just didn't
Just squandered it.
he
all.
just didn't calculate for taxes.
just didn't. I was like, wait, what? And then the next year, I was like, I think I can save up for it. And then I was like, oh, I didn't save up for it. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
And
So
then,
you were 19, 20 years old,
mhm,
running a freelance photography business,
mhm.
doing well above 60K. I think you were doing like 70K because I remember
No.
you had
I never had a tax return pre-marriage.
You had
above 65.
never?
Never.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I had a client for $4,000 a month, and a client for $2,000 a month.
So 4 and 2.
And then I would have random things that pop in every now and then. But then shortly after, I lost the one that's 2.
Uh-huh.
That being said, I had very little expenses. I didn't know what I was doing. Hindsight, I'm kicking myself. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Your rent was like 600 a month or something?
500.
500 a month.
500 a month. Living expenses. Groceries were cheap. It's just, I was really frugal with eating out.
So okay,
Actually, no, I
so
wasn't.
let me ask you this:
Yeah.
What percentage of people that feel like that guy does in that TikTok video
Mhm.
have that mindset in that situation because of situations like yours?
Not paying attention.
You weren't paying attention, and you didn't have the tacit knowledge to understand how to actually handle money, right? What percentage do you think is that, and what percentages do you think is like literally circumstances outside of people's control?
Oh, I think it's almost the majority of not being able to handle money. If you have the income, it's probably circumstance or not having the knowledge. So like whether that's not understanding that, oh, if I get my car payment down from $400 to $200 a month, like all those small $100 increments that you can adjust across your entire situation is actually going to free up a significant amount of income.
Yep.
Versus a lot of people think like, oh, well, like, I have to spend $1,000 a month in groceries. Right. And it's something me and my wife are going through right now where like she had to restrict her diet so much that ended up being everything in our kitchen had a fire label on it. And I was like, Melissa, I think if it has branding on it, it's got to go. Like we can't buy food with branding. Like that just costs so much more. The packaged things, especially the healthy packaged things, the health bars, whatever, it's skyrockets. So I'm like, all right, what can we cut back money here? Can we cut back money here? Can we? It's like you can find a couple $100 every now and then, but like but the small things like, oh, the phone bill, it's $100. Like he's like, oh, you can get it for 50. Okay, well now that just saved you $50, but all of that stuff adds up. So I think that's what a majority of it is for the people that are making good income. If you're not making good income, it's probably still tacit knowledge because you don't know how to.
Sometimes it's just information, lack of information.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're missing skills, like you said.
Missing skills or missing the information that you're missing skills.
Yeah.
or the hope that you can even change your situation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's a reality for a lot of people.
Yeah, things outside of your control. What would we classify as those? What, car breakdowns? Here's the thing. I fixed my car.
Mm.
My car died in my driveway. My parents gave me their old 257,000 mile car on it because they just bought a new car, and I was driving it, and then it broke down in my driveway, stopped working, and I was faced with the reality of, okay, I can get this towed, take it to a shop, they can figure it out, or how bad can it actually be?
Mm.
And so I think there's a level of self-sufficiency that we automatically like edit out. Oh, I could never cut $50 from my phone bill because I like my phone service.
Yep.
It's like, well, you can save $50. Oh, I have to go to the car maintenance guy. So it's like even the things that are quote unquote out of your control, it's like, are they really?
Yeah.
You didn't control your car to break down, but like you can control whether you go spend $400 at the mechanic or I fixed it for $30.
Yeah. So much for watching that video. Guys, I believe that one of the best ways you can build a business is by first building a platform online. So Zach Sparazzo put together a free training for you on the #1 metric you can be looking for to explode your YouTube platform. Click the link in the pinned comment below so you can start that now. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.